You take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Good. So, if you're anything like me, did you get on the scale today? Did you realize that people are so annoying? And did you realize that you gained weight after all that good work you did on Noom and Optivia and Jenny Craig and Peloton or Crunch or wherever you're at, and you still did it? You still gained that weight. Question. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Ask yourself, is that your weight? After everything you've done, after all you've achieved, list it out. List all the things you've done in the last 10 years. Go on, just in the last week. Make a list. Now tell me, the weight you've gained recently, this last little sadness of the universe, this crying and burning and flooding of the United States, and I predict the whole world. The collapse of our mental bubble. Perhaps the weight you gained was a protection method to protect yourself from all the shifting and changing that was happening. And if what I said is true, that creative energy needs fat, well then, my dears, aren't we in for a little surprise? It's been a minute since I've been on the spin bike. I don't know if you remember me back in the day. I used to work at Crunch and Equinox and New York Health and Rocket, Revolution, and even downstairs at the bottom of the World Trade Center. Thank God I wasn't there that very fated day, because I left New York City. I followed my heart. Not my art, my heart. Those are different things, my dear. And they need to be compartmentalized. So here we are, 6 pounds heavier than we started this summer, compartmentalizing. Let's begin again and again. But my dears, don't forget your backbone. Don't forget the platform you were built on. The generations and your incarnations, they make up the discs in your back. They make up the feathers in your wings. And my dears, it's time to fly. Take a deep breath in. Introduce myself. Once again, my name is Devon, and I am Susie's, well, some really great news. I'm Susie's PMS, but I am taking a presidency. She's hired me. She's hired me as her manager. Yeah. So she was doing some research on Patreon, and she was listening to Issa Rae, and she realized she needs a manager. She needs to have a discussion daily on her journey, what she's trying to do. And when she saw this, she told me that she wrote it all down, and she's done all the things she's supposed to do. She's achieved the things, you're supposed to achieve, but she doesn't feel it because she's not constantly reminded. She's actually constantly forgetting. That's just her skill set as an artist, as an actor. So I'm here to remind her. It's a daily thing, keeping her safe and healthy. I have demanded her, despite her vaccination, to wear a mask. Simply because that's the smart thing to do. It's the reality. And living in denial, Susie and dears, it's not helpful. So let's put on those masks. Let's mask up. Don't think because you got vaccinated you're smarter than anybody else. If you're not wearing a mask, my dears, and this was Susie in New York City, dear, she's fooled. She's not being smart. She's just not being logical. Because she isn't logical. She wants to live in fairy tale land, Susie, where everything's okay and fine and the world's a happy place. She wants to live at the castle on the cloud. And I want her to want to live in the castle of the cloud, but the reality is that's not reality. And those are just brief little moments in time. Being on stage, being on screen, having her thoughts communicated to the world because she thinks she's connected to some sort of universal spirit god. Well, that's just nonsense. But I'm so happy I'm here. And I'll be keeping her on point. Please don't ask her for any help emotionally. She cannot take it. She's not able to help you. She needs to help herself. So, have fun.